Ciao a tutti, come stai? The long-awaited video is here. So, if you're watching this, you're probably approaching the last stage of your visa process. It's been a journey, honestly. We started off by talking about why I chose Italy in the first place, choosing courses, choosing a university, applying into Federico II. I talked about the declaration of value, applying for accommodation. I talked about bank statement. I talked about insurance. In the shorts, I talked about flight. I think now that you have everything done in your checklist, it's good to now talk about the interview, because some of you guys already have your visas ready. Congratulations. So this will probably be helpful to those who have their appointments in August, September, October. I had my appointment in September. So yes, if that is you, as I usually say, this video will give you the detailed clarity that you require. The interview is not a black and white thing, like for example the checklist where everything is written in detailed. The explanations of everything you need to do are outlined there. This is something that is very dynamic. It can differ from one person to another, because a conversation could either go right or left. So it depends. What I'm basically trying to say is that this video is supposed to give you an idea or prep you on maybe some of the questions that you should prepare for. However, please, you should go out of your way to prepare more. Mainly, I think it's to get you in the mood of the interview, to maybe know the kind of atmosphere that you might get. Please be very analytical in interpreting the information here. As I mentioned previously, I got the appointment like 1 week after I submitted my documents at VFS. The location was Gigiri, UN Crescent, Gigiri. That's the only location in Kenya, actually. That's where the Embassy of Italy is. Mind you, this is the only time that I got to step into the embassy premises, because even when you're submitting your documents for the DOV, you hand them out in the security people at the gate. You don't even get to sniff. If you've studied international relations, you know that the embassy is it's like the establishment of that foreign country in the hosting country. Like now that is Italy, that is little Italy. You know, if you try to go inside, you're like violating another country. You can't even see what goes on inside. You've seen, like, I don't know about other countries how the embassies of Italy look like, but this one in particular, the fence goes to up to the, like, close to the clouds. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's very high that you can't see what's beyond. Like, you can't even know what's inside the kind of building structure that's inside. Yeah, so I went there very early in the morning, like psyched up, prepared. I had watched like a million videos of how to prepare for an interview. Kenyan content, there was not much Kenyan content, to be honest. There was this one girl, I think her interview didn't proceed. I watched her video. Yeah, she's in, I think, Middle East right now. I don't know, I don't even remember her name, but basically the main message in her video was don't lie, because some information there was not accurate and her visa was denied. Imagine if that's the content I was watching. I was kind of scared, you know, because I've watched a denial in Kenya. So I was also watching videos from other creators who are not even Kenyans. Like, everybody had a different story, to be honest. That's why I'm telling you, analyze this with an open mind, because you might come here with a different story, different experience. This is just my experience. Yeah, I'm starting to talk like Italians with the hands. Anyway, I prepared like 20 questions that I was expecting to be asked. I really overdid it, to be very honest. I overdid it. I was even practicing the geographical location of Italy, like some Indian guy, I remember. I was listening to his story, and he said that they will ask you where Italy is located. Like, I started cramming the neighboring countries to Italy. Like, Right now I don't even remember. I started cramming information about Naples, like the city under the sun. It's close to the ocean. Is the ocean or the Mediterranean? Oh, there's good food, there's good pizza, there's good pasta, there's the best food in the world. Oh, Naples people are good, they are warm, they are kind. If you're coming to Napoli, you've probably seen all these on the internet. Why did you choose Naples? Now that's what you intend to say. It's beautiful. I was cramming the number of courses that are offered in my school, the number of professors, the number of international students, the year the university is over 800 years old. Oh, sijui nini. Yani, I was just like cramming all details about my university. Any information on the internet that I saw, any YouTuber that said this, I wrote down. At night, I used to stand, talk. That 1 week, I only had like 3 days to prepare for that interview, but I was like a crazy person in the house. I used to tell my mom, Ibu, listen to me, like now you're the consulate. Ask me these questions, then I will answer you. But honestly, just be natural, please. Even before I get to explaining my actual interview, as you prepare, be very natural. Just give the real reason. Honestly, be very real, be a realist, because the kind of answer that you're seeing on the internet is what every other person will say. So just be real, unique, in your own way. Now let's get to the actual interview. So that was the preparation. So I go inside, I show my documents. For once, they let me in. The security is very kind. If I can remember the details, I didn't enter with any bag. I was like taken to a room where I put my bag. My phone, was it allowed? I don't remember if I entered with my phone, to be very honest, but what I do remember is taking out my documents, like the important things that I don't even think I used. So I entered, I found one lady. We still have each other's contact. She was coming to a different university, but also in my region. I meet her there, we start chit-chatting. So this girl, she told me that she had gotten a denial the previous year. Why? Because I don't even remember the main reason of her denial, but she was applying for the second time. So she's like, this is your first time. I'm like, is there gonna be a second time? Like, oh my god. So in that moment, I'm like, it's possible to get a denial. Like, okay. Then she's like, when did you finish school? I tell her, like, I had just freshly finished, like graduated 2023, 2024. I'm in the embassy. So I had not like taken any time away. Yeah, we become friends. After a few minutes, another lady walks in. She's also my friend, and she's in Naples. Mind you, everybody I'm mentioning in this video got their visas. So a reason for you to have hope. She tells me that she's also been admitted to my university, Federico II. She was doing a different course. We start talking, I can't remember the details of our conversations, but of course we are just like telling each other, like, psyching each other up and just like talking about how nervous we are for the interview. Then after some time, also another guy walks in. I will not mention all of them. But also him. It's funny that we are all coming to the same region, like Campania region. So yeah, he's also like from a different university. He started like asking different questions. Now we are talking about bank statements. You're talking about everything. Like in that moment, you have control over nothing. You have no control over the documents you submitted, how you did your application. You're just talking. It's like talking like when you're going to do an exam. It was kind of cool to see that there are other people who are in this journey with me, because to be honest, I thought I was the only one in that moment. I had no WhatsApp group, like the WhatsApp group that I created, link on bio, join. I had no information. I didn't know that other students were also applying for Italy, to be honest, because for me, Italy was never my first choice. I want to go to Italy. I would say that this is where God brought me. This is where God led me, because he had his purpose for me here. But my own personal choice, I started off with very different countries. I started off with Australia, then I went to Ireland, then UK, then oof, I was very undecided. If you've watched my first video, I also tried France actually. One thing I knew was that I wanted to study abroad. So it was kind of cool, you know, like yay, tuko wengi. They were calling one person one by one, and everybody had, like, they had arranged us in a systematic way, like one person from this time to this time, then this time to this time is another person. They were not taking too long, so the first one goes in, stays a little while. I was like the third person to go inside. I don't know why, I just started suddenly feeling like going to the toilet. Being nervous, I wanted to pee so badly. I was really pressed. I don't even know how it happened. I think it was just my stomach. I'm like, I don't know where the washrooms are. Like, what's up? So I go. I'm the next one. Mind you, I'm the next one. So I'm afraid to go. Then I'm called. Then I'm not there. So anyway, it was still better to go rather than go there to the interview while feeling uncomfortable. Probably I'm giving you TMI, too much information, but I always give details. I went to the security and told them, like, I want to go to the washrooms. Then they said, oh, it's okay. Imagine I was accompanied, like, there's no being told, go left, right, this, And in the washrooms, like, the area was just, I just started feeling the Italian, I just started feeling the Italian experience as I walked through those corridors, just looking at the walls, the pathways. They have this Italian architecture everywhere, like pictures of Rome, pictures of Florence, pictures of Venice, pictures of different cities. You know, I remember names of different cities written on the pathways. Guys, I'm remembering these things as I talk about them, so it's kind of like, oh, cool for me. When I got to the washrooms, also there are magazines of Italy. I just started feeling like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm going to Italy. Oh my god. Immediately I leave the washrooms and go back. Before I even sit down, I hear, Annette! Tell me why I felt like dying, to be honest. Like, I felt like, what? It's my turn. It's my turn. Oh my god. When I just remember that moment and how I felt in that moment, I'm like, everything is possible in this life. Every tension that you may feel when it comes to anything, you will just start looking back and you'll talk about it like it's nothing. But in that moment, that was the most important moment of my life. I'm crazy, you know. I was even watching US embassy interview experiences, and it was like, the setting in my head was that it was like a bank. There's a teller on this side and you're on the other side. Then you just submit your documents and you guys are talking, and there's like a window barrier separating the person who is interviewing you and you. So that was like my head. That was what was in my head, but the actual was very different, guys. So the lady security guard walks me to the interview room. It was a room, guys. It was an actual small office. She tells me to have a seat. So I sit. On the opposite side, there's also a seat, but there's nobody sitting on the seat. On this side, there's a lady who is like facing me. She's standing and she's on her computer. So she's the one who welcomes me. She tells me, hi Annette, welcome, have a seat. So okay, I'm like, okay, this is my first time like seeing an Italian. Guys, I'm from Nairobi, not from Coast. I know people from Coast are used to interacting with them, but oh my, I was like, wow, like, oh wow. So I'm like, she smiles, she's warmly. So I felt like, wow, you know, that's like the first impression I get. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, she's nice, she smiles at me. Guys, I was very nervous. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was very nervous, but I think in that moment God just took over. And also the atmosphere that I got, just even seeing that the setting was different, just kind of made me calm down a little bit. Of course, I'm very nervous, but I was able to compose myself. I sit down and in my head I'm like, maybe she's the one who is interviewing me. So I'm like seated waiting for the questions. Then after like a minute, a guy walks in. A guy, like an average age looking man, not old, not young, but very tall. He entered the room, like in a like official wear. The lady looked very artsy. She had beautiful, like, I remember her very well. I even remember her name, but I will not mention her so that you don't go and tell her that I mentioned. Nisiende kusema iti niliwapatia lika. So anyway, the man walks in and he said, hi, I wish I could like demonstrate. I remember everything very clearly. Good morning. Then he sits down. I wish I could show you how he put his legs, but he looks at me like this. Then he asks, your name? Annette. There were many documents on the side, so he starts flipping them around. Then he takes out my passport and my documents. They were like together, so that means that there are other applications that are there waiting. So he takes out mine. Then now he starts opening it. Then before he says anything, he's like, my name is this and this. I will be interviewing you for today. And before anything, I want you to relax. Guys, they tell me to relax. They tell me, okay, I want you to relax. It's just gonna be a conversation. No big deal. Don't be scared. And I think that's very good. Like, that's very kind of the Italian embassy, because they're used to receiving people, students or even other people who are coming for other interview. Because there was also a lady who was not coming, I forgot to mention her. There was a lady who was not applying for a student visa, she was applying for a tourist visa. So there are various people that are applying for visas, and they are used to seeing people tensing, scared, so it's very nice of them to just try to provide that calm environment for you. It's beautiful, to be honest, because the kind of videos I watched online, denied, granted, especially for US, they were just scaring me. But that one, it was very calm. Okay, so I think I've stressed on that enough. So this is just to tell you to be calm. They are very nice people. At least for my time. I don't know if they've changed the the whole system, but the ones I found were very, 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 very nice to me. I am so grateful. The first questions are very basic, the most basic questions you can get, but they are important because they are supposed to confirm your identity. So I'm just gonna take something and just pretend like he's just confirming the details on your passport. Age 24. Where were you born? Like, just things that you don't need to practice to know if that is you for sure. You obviously get these questions right. I remember the unique one though was, do you have children? I said no. He said, okay, good. In fact, he said, okay, perfect. But this is not like supposed to make you feel, if you have a child and you're watching this, it's not a problem. Say the truth. I have friends, my flatmate that I live with has a child, and it's interesting how she didn't go through the interview process. Her visa was applied through the embassy. I think she just went through a different process. I don't know. Not everybody goes through VFS Global apparently, but she has a child and she got accepted. Another lady that I interacted with there during the our little rapport also has a child, and she also got her visa. So don't feel the need to lie. It is not a reason to lie. In fact, in any case, it like gives you some advantage, because that's a strong family tie. If you have a child, that means you have a reason to go back to your country. So, and don't lie. If you do not have a child, don't lie that you have a child now to strengthen your family tie. No, I don't have a child. I said no. So he said, okay, perfect. So yeah, just say the truth. The next questions are about my educational background. So he asked me what I studied before. Then I was just trying to talk more. I was just like, when he asks me something, I was not giving him a yes or no answer. I was being conversational, a little detailed, in a way that he doesn't feel like he needs to clarify more. So when he asks, what's your education, like, what did you study before? Like I said, business administration. I didn't just say business administration. I said I have a bachelor's in business administration from Maseno University. Now he'll ask you something from what you say. He said, how long was it? I said 4 years. I told him that in my third year I specialized in marketing. He also asked me about now how I got to applying for international relations. He didn't really go into details so much. He was just like, asking just top, just obvious questions. So he didn't ask me, why did you choose international relations? Why did you choose this? But I think I gave a connection, like, because I was trying to go into detail, I gave a connection between like shifting from marketing to international relations and how it was related in a way, but just top information. I was not asked, I was just trying to to just provide some insight, to be conversational. Then he asked me, and why did you choose Italy? Why? Then that is now when all the things I had practiced started coming to my head. I told him that, I'm avoiding to say what I said because I don't want you guys to, like, imagine 10, if 10 people go and give the exact answer that I give here, it's going to be so weird. It's going to be bad for you, actually. So don't do that. So I'm actually going to give you the answer that I gave out, but if you choose to go and give that exact answer, just know that like probably 100 more people have watched this video and they're going to go to the same consulate in Nairobi, for example, or wherever, and they're going to give the same answer, and all of you guys will give the same answer, and that will not be good for your results. So just be natural, be unique, please. So I said that I had actually applied to a couple more universities. Then he was like, oh, really? Where? I told him that I got 2 acceptance letters from the UK. I got an acceptance in Ireland. And Italy for me stood out because, for example, there is no housing crisis in Italy. That was what I said. That was literally what I said. I don't even know how that came to my mind, to be honest. I had practiced so many things, but in that moment, that is what came to my mind. And it was true. I mean, it was true. It is very true. Like, people struggle to get housing, like, in the countries that I've mentioned before, and it's actually also very, very expensive. So he was like, that's, he even laughed. He laughed. It just be natural. He was like, yeah, and it's also cheaper, right? Then I'm like, yes, it's cheaper. So I mean, we have 2 people who are talking from a point of logic. Don't go there and act like you don't consider the cost factor. I mean, I'm sure you've thought about cost. If you're applying to Italy, it's definitely cheaper. And he's like, oh wow, that's very, very interesting. He also asked if I knew anyone in Italy, if I had any friends, family. I told him no, and it's the truth. I didn't know nobody. It was just me and myself and I. This is not to say that if you know someone, you don't say the truth. Say the truth. Please say the truth. If you have family there and they find out you have family there, darling, your visa will get denied. Because why are you lying? It's not a bad answer. It's not like, it's not, actually it's not. So it's okay if you know people in Italy, guys. It's cool. It's totally cool. If they are the ones who inspired you to come and apply for a university there or to visit or whatever, just say the truth, guys. Okay, I need to tell you something, guys. You remember the lady that I told you was in the room as I walked in? She has a role. She is standing there by her laptop transcribing every single word coming out of your mouth, darling. So if you dare contradict yourself in some lies, it's written down. She's like, that's her role. She's transcribing and the other one is asking you questions. So please don't contradict yourself. If you're not a pathological liar, you'll end up just saying something that they're smart. You're not the only one applying. They're smart. They know how to read body language. They know how to, every record of everything you say, every single word, utterance, expression, it's written. So yeah, the next questions that I am asked are about my sponsor, because I mean, this is probably the most important thing in your application, your sponsor, because they don't want you to go there and start suffering. You arrive in Italy with no money, no nothing. before my sponsor, they asked me if I had applied for a scholarship. I said no, and it was the truth. I did not apply for a scholarship. In my WhatsApp group, I've seen there's like an active conversation of people going through the legalization of documents, stuff like that. And someone said that if you are applying for a scholarship, I think the regional ones, I don't know, there are many types of scholarships, I can't say this type, but if you're applying for scholarships, you probably have to go through some other procedures. I cannot speak of it because I did not go through that. It's not that I was rich and I did not need a scholarship. I did not really pay attention to it. I wish I did, but right now I'm like, no, it's okay. But yes, if you have applied for scholarship, be sure to let them know, because there's probably something that is going to be involved in that, and questions that they might ask in regards to that. But for me, I said no. They probably assumed that I did not need it. So I wish they told me. If they told me that you should apply for this scholarship, I would have applied immediately. And that time it had not even expired. I didn't. Anyways, so he starts asking me about my sponsor. He asks, and your sponsor is your aunt? Yes. What is her name? I say her name. Where does she live? I said that she lives in the States, but she regularly visits Kenya, which I don't even think they care about all that. They just want to know her residence. So yeah, I tell them. What does she do? I say her occupation. I think that's all. They didn't ask me too much details about her. They have her bank statement there. They didn't ask me like anything deep or anything personal about her, to be honest. Then they ask about my parents. What do your parents do? So in my head, I'm like, they want to find out. They want to find out if you have financial capacity to sustain yours. They probably, I think these people are so smart. They probably know that you've even borrowed a bank statement. They want to know, they just want to know, like, will you be able to survive? In the event that your parents will need to come in, what do they do? Where do they live? Do you live with your parents? I say, yes, I live with them. Where do you live? I say, where I live. Don't lie. I will keep insisting, don't lie. If you lie and you're asked for evidence, or they just find out in their own way, you're cooked. The guy walks out for a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. So I'm left there with the lady. I don't know if it was planned or not, but we start talking. She starts to tell me about how I'm going to enjoy my stay in Italy. So it's like, are you telling me that I'm going to get a visa indirectly? So she just starts telling me, you will love Napoli. I mean, she starts saying that it is beautiful and the weather is so good. Like other parts of Italy, it's cold, but in Naples, you will love it. You will really love it. And the people are so good. She says, I'm not from Naples, but I love Naples. People are so good, so kind. Yeah, this from a Napoli student point of view. You might be watching this and you're going to another university. Don't worry, this is just to show that they are conversational. If maybe there's the time for it, they'll chit chat with you. So we start talking. Then she tells me, by the way, when you go, even apply for bursaries, funding. They're always funding that. You always get funding opportunities that will come out. Then I'm like, okay, yes. So it's like, yeah, she's like assured. Like I felt, for me, she probably didn't realize it, but for me it was like an assurance that the interview has gone well, because she's telling me about, you will love Naples, and I don't even know the visa results. So in my heart, I'm just like, thank you, God. Yeah, so yeah, she even starts telling me about Kenya, how long she's been in Kenya, about other countries that she's visited. We just start having a conversation like normal people. You'd not even tell that they are here at the top and I am now coming to be interviewed by them. It was just very, very nice conversation. I felt so much at ease. I was relaxing, I was talking, we were laughing, we were smiling. Guys, I'm an ambivert. I know how to switch on my on and off button. If I'm in an environment where I feel like I should bring out my bubbly side, I will bring out my bubbly side, and when it's time for business, it's gonna be time for business. So I was just very energetic, laughing. I was smiling at them like, hey bro, inside my heart was like skipping, but I was smiling. Just smile. If you, of course, please guys, don't smile where it's irrelevant. Just maybe you're having a conversation, or maybe they crack a joke, smile, laugh a little bit, just be human. Don't go there like I know everybody's usually nervous, but just be natural, be free. The guy walks back in the room, then the lady prints out a transcript, like a transcribed document of everything that I had been saying. I'm told to confirm whether everything is correct, so I just start reading. I read everything, things that I was saying, they've been written. So I read, then I confirm, okay, everything is okay. Yeah, they said that's all for today. We greeted each other with all of them. Then they said, you know what this man told me, guys? He said, Annette, you're a very smart girl. Please do not forget us when you make your first billion. Glory be to God. I was just like, ooh, okay, kind of confused, like why did he tell me that? So I'm like, okay. I just smile. I said, I will not forget you. And it's like, oh, okay, perfect, don't forget us. Remember, don't forget when you make your he repeats that like twice, like 2 times. So I don't know, like, Lord, I'm still waiting to see that prophecy come to pass. I'm still waiting. I'm still manifesting on that prophecy that had been made, because I don't know what that man saw in me or what I told him that made him say that. To be honest, that's what he told me, and I've never forgotten. I don't think I will ever forget that statement. Then say, okay, bye. Say thank you so much. Bye. I'm escorted out by the security guard. By the time I'm being escorted out, the next girl that is after me is at the door. As you can tell, it was beautiful. I know as I explain it, it looks so wow, like a telenovela, but inside my heart, I will repeat, I was very nervous. But it's normal to be nervous. If you're not nervous, you must be very strong, to be honest, because I'm an overthinker by nature, and I did not know what to expect. I had never been to an embassy interview before, so if I were to give my final remarks in regards to this, is just be yourself. Don't try to put on an act. Don't try to want to impress. Just be yourself. I know I said smile, but if you're not a smiley person, it's okay, just be yourself. They have interviewed so many people. They know how to judge character. They know how to judge like an honest or a dishonest person. Be very natural, be very truthful. The questions, as you can tell, they are not out of the ordinary. Some are very basic, based on the documents that you submitted in the checklist. So be sure, be very sure about the documents. By the way, everything you submitted there, you might be asked anything concerning those, everything, like concerning those, even about the flight booking, you might be asked anything. I don't think there's a physics question that you've seen there, like difficult, like no. An extra word of advice, I've seen many messages, complaints about the embassy, not the embassy, the VFS appointment dates being very far, and many people are concerned because the dates are falling in October and the studies are starting in September. And I will just repeat what was said in my group. If the date is very far, just book the closest available date. If you have all your documents ready, book the earliest date. Then someone advised that every morning you should be checking to see if there's an earlier slot, because maybe some people reschedule. So if you see an earlier slot, change to that date, but don't wait to see if there'll be a date that will come earlier, then you fail to apply, like to book an appointment at all. That will only mess you up, guys. Make sure you have everything. Don't book an early date, then maybe you're not prepared enough. book an early date, then you can change later. And I'm so sorry that you have to go through this. I'm so sorry. I didn't experience that, to be honest. Yeah, all the best, all the very best. It's possible to get a student visa. I think the number of applications is definitely going high by the years. In my time, it was this number, and maybe in 2025, it is this number, and maybe it will even continue to go higher. And of course, as it goes higher, they continue to tighten their restrictions. But there are some unchanging variables like honesty. That is something that you should always carry with you all the time. Confidence. I know you're nervous, but just try to carry yourself in the correct way. Try to compose yourself. Talk naturally. Yeah, if you're a spiritual person, pray. Just pray, meditate. Do whatever you can to make sure that your mental health is stable in that moment, to be honest. Yeah, because for me it was just praying and just like reaffirming myself, believing in the unseen, just believing even though you don't know the outcome. As I told you, I was with people who are telling me about denial stories, and it would have been easy to be discouraged in that moment, but it was my first trial, first attempt, and I got it, so it's not impossible. Network, have a good time, talk. If you guys are mainly on that, you might come to talk, like be friends with these people even here in Italy. So yeah, like I got my first like contact of Kenyans here, although we never meet. But at least I know someone in this city, I know someone in this region. So yeah, talk guys, like encourage each other, pray for each other. And I will repeat myself, everybody who we were with in that car pre-interview room got their visas. Some of them didn't even have all the documents, sufficient documents, and you know what they were told? Do this, bring this document, bring this. They were asked for additional documents, in short, bring this. The embassy didn't even need to send information to VFS, then like make you wait for 2 weeks. They were being asked to just send via email or just do this or do that. They were very lenient, to be honest, not in a way that's not, serious or careful. But if they see that you are a student, you're someone who is like passionate, you're truthful, they are not evil people. They will help you, honestly. Everybody got their visas. That in its own should encourage you. If you have any additional questions, please write them in the comment section or write them in the WhatsApp group through the link that I have put in the description. Sending me a personal message, I might respond like way late. I will respond very late, not because I want to delay, but because I have other things that are also going on in my life. I have to attend to them. I cannot like respond immediately to you, but if you write in the group, someone else will respond to you. I will respond when I can. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for even having an interest to pursue Italy. It's not talked about enough, especially in Kenya. I don't know why. It's maybe talked about in, like, I've seen a lot of content from other countries, but I don't think Italy is talked about enough. And because of that, this channel is just going to be purely for educational content, universities, visas, scholarships. When Adisu scholarship is released, I will post the application process on this channel, but I will also want to share like actual experiences, stories, and I have another YouTube channel that I used in Kenya, but I don't use it anymore. So I think I'm going to post like just general life in Italy. I will post there. I will give you the link to my second YouTube channel because, for example, I would like to talk about my first day in Italy, like after I arrived, after I got the visa. I would like to talk about how crazy it was, like that's another story. So I think I will post that video on that different channel just so that I don't mix things up. On my TikTok, you know what I post there, so link on description. My Instagram, you can also follow me. I live in my stories. Yeah, you guys are kind of like part of my life now, and I appreciate your presence here. And yes, thank you. I don't have anything else to say. Subscribe, of course. I'm just saying this because it's something that every YouTuber has to say. Subscribe. In the next video, I'll probably talk about, I should have maybe talked about this earlier. I've had like a couple of people ask me about how to write a statement of purpose. So I will do that for you in the next video. I will show you how to write a winning statement of purpose. That time we didn't have, okay, we had AI, but I was not a crazy user of ChatGPT as I am now. I wrote it out of my own heart. I wrote it with my own hands. I've actually made that decision right now as I am talking. So yes, I will show you how to write an SOP. If you have more suggestions, tell me in the comment section. Ti amo tanto. Ciao. Take care. And all the best in your interview.